All right, folks. Hey, welcome to today's session for Off the Grid. I wanted to welcome the Johanna Staplemouth to the show today. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you doing this on a Sunday, and I look forward to chopping it up.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday's kind of the only day that works for me, man. My schedule is stacked, but I'm happy to be able to be here. I really like what you're doing. You're doing some great things, sir. So, yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for making the time, man. Well, real quick, can I have you just talk a little bit about yourself? Tell us where you're exactly from, and tell us how long you've been making music.
Well, it started young, actually. I was doing music, since elementary. No, I was rapping since I was in elementary school.
Nice.
I was born and raised in Hawaii,
Yeah.
Kaneohe.
Oh,
That's on the
all right.
windward side of the island. So you know, all of my life, like growing up, it was just this island boy, just reclusive island boy. I was like the worst Hawaiian because I couldn't do a lot of the other Hawaii stuff, but then,
It's all
like,
like surfing and stuff, or
I was terrible at all of that, dude. Like I would sit around and
oh,
just taste
good.
sand crabs and stuff, While everybody's surfing. It's like, yeah, dude. Well, I was more of a mountain guy, I
Yeah.
did more hiking and all that. But yeah, born and raised um, on Oahu. Was sent to the Big Island to hang out with you know grandparents during the summer. But so then I'm on the Kona side, so I pretty much represent Kaneohe and Kona as far as like where I grew up.
Bro, are you ethnically Hawaiian, or are you Filipino? I don't want to
Yeah,
guess, but
no, yeah, I am Hawaiian, Filipino, and Korean actually.
oh, oh, dope,
Yeah,
man.
it's just like this whole mixed plate of stuff, But just island style mixed plate. I'm sure I'm like a lot more than that. But as far as birth certificate goes, it's just
Yeah.
Hawaiian, Filipino, Korean.
Oh,
So
that's wild, man. So you got
yeah.
all the dope cultures and good food, definitely in all those
Oh
mixes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of rice, dude. A lot of rice.
Had you, man. Hey, do you speak any of the languages, or did you guys not grow up speaking Korean or Tagalog?
No, no, just
Yeah.
English. Like I tried, but then
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to when you're surrounded by it every day. Like especially when I
Sure.
was hanging out on the Filipino side of the family. Or like or just the Korean side of the family.
Yeah.
They're like everybody did, and I got by. But like as far
Yeah.
as like I ended up taking Japanese
Yep.
more instead of all that because growing up on the islands you're raised to believe that you're gonna need to learn Japanese because if you want a job here on the islands
Yeah. Yeah.
Japanese is gonna be the way to go. Like
Oh,
all right,
dude,
mom. So
I hear you, man. Well, I hear
yeah,
that, man. I took Japanese too in high school, man. So I feel you
nice.
on that, man. But hey,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So I mean, you started rapping in elementary school, and so who were your influences? Like, who were you guys really listening to, and who had you on the edge of your seat?
It was actually just whatever my brother was listening to.
Okay.
Like my older brother is who turned me on to a lot of music, and honestly, it was a lot of stuff that was playing on the radio. It
Yep.
was freaking Bone Thugs. It would be like Bone Thugs and Wu Tang, and and it would just be like just whatever was playing on the radio. My brother listened to more of the East Coast style of
Yep.
stuff because he was a skater, so he had access to all this cool music because he would listen to like like when it came to vocals, I was always drawn um to like the rapping style, as far as like
Yeah.
but then like but then as far as like the music goes, I used to listen to a lot of like, metal and a lot of the hardcore, just cool island skater stuff, like they
Yeah.
listen to everything. So then and then like it kind of created this little monster that, like I liked rapping, but I didn't really like all the beats. You know, like like the beat styles. You know, I always pictured myself being on like guitars and drums and live drums and just heavier stuff, but
Yeah.
vocal style rapping. So
Yeah,
then
man.
like yeah. But then
It's
like, and then like Anacon and stuff came around and they were doing that. And I was like, this is it, dude, this is it. This is it.
uh-huh.
And then like, yeah, I kind of just ran with, the path that they opened up for, guys like us that wanted to do something different, but love hip hop.
Yeah,
So
man. You clued in on a couple groups that I was gonna mention later on, Anacon and Bone Thugs, and so I'm sure we grew up about the same time.
yeah.
As far as like, so it's interesting then. And when did you leave Hawaii? You left after high school, or as an adult already?
Yeah, I left I don't know, like maybe I left the islands when I was 23.
Okay.
And then I moved to Kansas and kind of just fell off the face of the earth as far as music goes. Like
Okay.
priorities changed. It was kind of like an instant family thing for me,
Yeah.
and it was like, all right, I need to focus on this
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah,
So
priorities, man. And so like when at least before you left when you were 23, I think the Hawaiian scene too was also like sparking too as well. And a lot of dope hip hop was coming out during that time. Were you tied into the scene when you were rapping, or were you just
yeah,
in a way? Tell me about
yeah.
that, man. I'd love to hear it.
Well, like um, my first group, the Proletariats,
Okay.
we were pretty much performing we're like the opening act for any of the artists that came through the
Dope.
came through the island, and that's how I made like probably like 98% of my connections. As far as like I don't know, like met living, like a lot of people, and then we had our own shows and stuff too. So we're constantly playing. We would go to KTUH and
Yep.
we'd hang out there and do stuff over there with Cabot, Cabot
Oh,
the
crazy.
Catalyst, Thought
So there's a
Legend.
tie. Yeah, there's a tie there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then and we'll do light sleeper shows. We're involved with light
Amazing.
sleeper and we were during that time we were a big part of the scene. I would
Yeah.
hang there would be proletariats. I'd do stuff with my other group of family out there, direct descendants. And then that's like Creed Chameleon and all those
Oh
cool
man,
cats.
that's
Then
crazy. Yeah,
Stu
yeah.
and like go ahead.
Yeah, that's a critical time for Hawaii hip hop too, man. Those are all you guys are all the heads now that are at the top, and so it's crazy hearing those names and then how you guys started. And did Kaneohe have a scene, or like did you guys all have to go to Honolulu to get your
Yeah.
hip hop fix?
Yeah, it was Kaneohe didn't really have a scene. I mean, there was a lot of rappers from Kaneohe. I mean,
Yep.
different styles of rappers. Like I never disrespected, like what the street kids were doing,
Yeah.
because there's like a lot of battle rappers out there. They had like the Tiki Entertainment guys, like Chris Styles and
Oh
Scoops
man.
and all these other cats that were recording out of Kaneohe because that's where their studio was at.
Wow.
But there were, but a lot of them were more West Side kids. On the other, they're all on the other side of the island. But we're able to all just have like this common respect that hey, we do different types of hip hop,
Yeah.
but we're all on this island and we want to support anyone that makes it. One of us makes it, then we all made it. It's,
Yeah.
so then like, but then um yeah, no, we did a lot of shows.
Yeah.
It was a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
But
I see all the support, man, for just anybody coming off the island. You guys have a tight network, and
yeah,
it's always love, man, amongst your community, and always
yeah,
supporting all the young and up and comers too. So I love that. It's got a family feel to the hip hop scene in Hawaii.
for
And
sure.
as the group, the Proletariats, did you guys record any albums, man? I'd love to hear some of y'all early stuff, man.
Yeah, dude, I'll send you some stuff. But yeah, our first album, Blue Collar Blues, I think came out in I don't know 2003ish, but it was being recorded. It was recorded, 1998,
Okay.
99ish. That was when AOL popped off. The AIM Messenger popped off.
Yeah.
And then and that's where a lot of the connections were made as well.
Yeah.
Like just everybody, little tape trading communities and all
Man.
that,
Good
and
old
we all
days.
like, yeah, no, it was fun, dude. Those are fun times. I mean, like, um, it's really, I miss those days, man. It turned into something else, and I'm still trying to figure out what that something else is. As far as
Yeah.
like music and how technology changed. Like it was a lot of it was like physical copies. Selling physical copies of albums and
That's
doing
right.
shows. Now you just need to make like a 20-second track, do something silly on like social media, and then it pops off. It's like I can't do that, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Like
man.
like what the hell is this? But then like it is challenging and interesting, and it as far as like trying to find a way to like incorporate what type of music that we do in today's oversaturated market as far as just music in
Yeah.
general. Like people, it's it's changed, but it's what it is. And do what
Yeah.
you love doing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, you got to find a way to do certain things to adapt a little bit. I know
Yeah,
sometimes when I'm trying to make a sound, sometimes I'll find something like that is something that's going on in the modern times, and then try to just kind of all mold it together. I mean, I still stay on the path of the type of music that I do, but I feel you, man.
for
Just a
sure.
lot of new things that are going on, and yep. And then, like you said, it's oversaturated. And so, yeah, you just kind of just do your thing and, hope it sticks. But I enjoy it. And I love the music that you make, man. And
Thanks,
so,
man.
yeah. And then, and so as far as like, you were rapping and then, what, do you remember the moment that you first like started writing raps on paper and started putting the pen down and, just kind of like, what was the catalyst in terms of like, hey man, I'm gonna start doing this for real and start recording songs. Do you remember that
Yeah,
moment?
I do actually. Like as far as like writing my first track, if that happened, maybe in intermediate school,
Hmm.
and and it was it was pretty gangster, But then
Yeah.
it was like me trying to understand, like it was me, just trying to understand like the I guess the music theory behind it because like honestly I was
Yeah.
a band student, I
Oh,
was a
okay.
saxophone player, alto sax player, and
Nice.
what I found out was like while I was playing the saxophone, I would like change the notes into words like while doing it, so then like um like I'll be playing these melodies and then like and I'd have that melody stuck in my head and then I'll make little songs out of it, just changing those notes into words. And
Yeah.
then I realized, oh dude, this is this is a thing. So then when I started writing, that's what I was experimenting with. It was like I was basically just changing saxophone sheet music into rap songs and then it turned into you know my style of writing. But then like as you
Yeah.
meet people that do this, they all majority of them do it the same way. It's always melodies and cadences first and then the lyrics come in. A lot of people like start their music that way, um, which is or they start with an idea and and then the melodies come after. It's a lot of different ways to do it, but that's like as far as when I started writing, it was more just trying to understand and break down what these rappers, the
Yeah.
rappers I was listening to, like Bone Thugs and stuff, what they were doing to make it happen.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, it's very rhythmic, and I think I'll surface the point now, man. I listened to a lot of your tracks, and I thought there was a lot of influence from Bone Thugs and some of the early Anticon stuff. And I said, man,
Yeah.
you are amazing, man, when it comes to
Oh,
writing
thanks, man.
double time, triple time. Like, woo, man, yeah, that's quite a feat, man. So what was the process like when you were trying to develop your style and hone in, the way you wrote, sometimes, I mean, so, yeah, I'm not, I do double time, but not frequent. But how did you make that determination? Like, hey, this is my style, man. I'm gonna do it. Can you talk to me about that process?
It like honestly, the way that I write music, I kind of like surrender to what the production is,
Mm,
because honestly, what I'm
okay.
looking for is that I'm looking for spaces
Yep.
in the production, in the instrumentation, and sometimes the spaces like creates melodies. I mean, not sometimes, it always does. So then so then like there's tracks where it's like, okay, this is gonna be slow and chill, and I'm just gonna pace this one out and not do
Okay.
any double time. Or this one is gonna be more melodic, or this one's just gonna be like da
Yeah.
da 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 da,
Yeah.
and it's but it's like I always kind of surrender. I always surrender to what the production is doing.
Okay.
I listen to the instrumental, and then it's like, okay, what in my world, what does this need? Like because I don't want to take away from a sample, or I don't want to sound like my vocals is just forced into a track,
Yeah.
or so then like so then it's like, what are the samples doing? What is the tempo? And does it make sense to like rap fast here or do this there? Or, there's a lot of like, when I write, there's a lot of sequencing going on. Like I'm part of, like I am producing,
Okay.
like I'm making the beats. So then like I get a whole bunch of melodies and cadences, and then I kind of piece them together, sequence them, sequence it out over the beat
Nice.
as I'm writing. Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of switching around and stuff sometimes.
Yeah, that totally works for you, man. And how long in general does it take you to craft like a verse? I know for me, I mean, usually I have to spend some time on it. And it takes me some time, but sometimes I'm hot. I guess it just depends. But in general,
Yeah, no.
are you pretty quick when you put your verses and songs together?
It depends on what I'm working on.
Yeah, fair point.
Like yeah, like if the track asks me to like pace it out and just do something, like especially too, like if I'm doing like features or something, and if I try to like complement the style of the artist that I'm working with,
Yeah,
like if somebody's like pacing it out and I listen to, I find the gaps that they found while they were writing. um I'm not just gonna come in and just ape and be like, yeah, da, 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 da. It's like,
yeah.
if they're chilling, I'm gonna chill.
I see.
I'm gonna do my style with it, but I'm gonna chill.
Yeah,
So they're like,
that's
but
the
as far as
energy.
like time, yeah. But as far as like as far as like time wise, like a lot of my solo stuff takes me some time. As far as like, my solo stuff, and I'm not saying like features are like throwaway verses, but then like
Yeah,
it's a break from the heavier stuff that I do.
sure, exactly.
So then like a lot of the time, especially like when the beat really like talks to me, it just happens. Like
Yeah.
I can have it done in like 15 minutes or something.
Oh man, it's amazing.
Like so then but it changes, like it just depends on what's going on with the song. If it's like a really complicated fast one or something,
Yeah,
um then there's then it could take a whole day,
sure.
or it could take me a week, just based on like work schedule and life
Yeah,
schedule stuff. So then like but a lot of the times I can probably finish a solo song in a like 4 to 8 hour writing session. Just zone out, lose track of time, and just get into it.
yeah.
So
I hear you,
but
man. Like some of the verses I have to because of work and just family stuff, I'll write maybe like 4 bars a night and then
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it, man. And by the end of the week I'll have a 16 bar verse, man. So
yeah. No, no, that
I
I get
truly
that.
understand that. Hey, where is there
I thought.
Is there a range, a BPM range that you like to operate? Do you have just a comfortable zone, or are you quite open to whatever, just as
No,
long
I'm
as the
kind of
beat talks to
open.
you?
Yeah, no, I'm open to whatever. Like I'm not gonna say like, yo, I need it like this. It's
Yeah.
like I because like honestly, I enjoy the challenge,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh,
like if it's and like sometimes I'll get something and it's like and it's just noise and it's like, well, I'm gonna figure this out, and then like it turns out to be something really cool at the end. It's like, all right, cool, but then like yeah, it's like my writing style, like it is pretty flexible. It's pretty
okay.
elastic. So then
Yeah.
like it's just like, because I consider myself more a vocalist and songwriter more than a rapper, you
Okay.
know, or
I like that.
and so then it's taking whatever's presented to me and trying to see what I can do with it. And hopefully the person that gets it back likes it type of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So
it's certainly dope work, man. And do you have I guess outside of the stuff that you rap to, any favorite producers that you like to listen to? Are you a primo guy, or anybody in particular that has work that stands out to you?
um everybody has their own, like a lot of the producers I listen to, especially right now since I'm writing a lot,
Uh-huh.
like my listening, like my bandwidth for listening to others to a lot of stuff is, it's pretty congested as far as like.
Good point.
So,
Yeah.
so then like, I'm working on so many projects right now that a lot of the production I'm listening to are the producers I'm currently working with,
Sure.
and then if I'm actually listening to something, I'm listening to mixes, or and make tracks that I just recorded or
Yeah.
something, like as far as like being able to sit there and chill and listen to stuff like, um, in this moment in my life, I don't really have that going, like the time for that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a lot, like all of my listening time is going towards like future projects and what those producers are doing, like,
Yeah. That's a good
you
point.
know, like, so like currently it's a lot of like Seventh Galaxy,
Uh-huh.
Rove,
Yep. Oh man.
Alawait, and yeah, and Nablonsky,
Oh yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So
German.
that's kind of like a little Easter egg on future releases that it's
Yeah.
happening. So like,
I love
but
it.
yeah,
That was good, man. All the hints, man. And do you do mixing and mastering too, or production, or are you strictly just rhyme and then you just outsource everything?
I I know enough about mixing to make a decent reference mix,
Oh, okay.
you know, because I do enjoy the engineering aspect of it as well. Like I nerd out, geek out on
Yeah.
that hard, but I have a hard time mixing my own stuff.
Okay.
When it comes to like my own stuff, like it's different. If I'm mixing for someone else, then I can it's it's a lot easier, but then like I get overly critical when it comes to like my own stuff because
Oh,
like, I think
understand.
so then like when it comes to my own stuff, I can make a reference and then send it off to someone else to do the mixing and mastering. I mean, that's kind of like one of the rules of mixing and mastering is having multiple people do it, having different ears on it, you
Yeah.
know. So like, but as far as beat production, that's something I always wanted to do. But I'm gonna be honest with you, if I ever got into beat making, there's gonna be like, I don't know, there's gonna be like 16 different cadences and patterns and like two
All
bars.
right. Right.
It's gonna be chaotic as hell, dude. It's like I don't have like, yeah, there's what makes my vocals work. It's like, the way that I see things and changing patterns every few bars and stuff and trying and just keep evolving. It's gonna do that, and then like if I produce, it's gonna be like that, and it's not gonna work out, dude. Like I get frustrated, man.
I'm
It's like, oh
sure.
man, I need to, yeah.
Oh, That is wild, man. Did you try anything else? Have you ever DJ'd or do breakdance, or were you into graffiti at all? Any other elements, or was it strictly just MCing?
I'm probably like the greatest toy on the walls. Like I was terrible at graffiti, but I love it.
Yeah,
I
same.
love like and it's like I'm like the greatest toy ever. But like um I know what like I love the lifestyle of graffiti, the graph writers and stuff, like, going out there and bombing towns, like I would go out with crews before and, I would like sticker bomb with them as far as like they'll give me stuff to do, they'll give me like their stickers and, like, we'll run into the post office, grab a whole bunch of their like return label stickers.
All
I mean, like
right.
and then like they will do all their, they'll do their pieces on it, and then I'll go out and bomb with them that way because I enjoyed it, like
Yeah.
being a lookout for somebody doing heaven or something, but then like,
Yeah.
I was like I had like terrible style, like I couldn't do it myself, but I did enjoy like, you know, late night vandalism and art, that whole like feeling of just being, um, you know, trying, not getting caught, and just, it was thrilling, it was fun, it was exciting. I did enjoy that. Breakdancing, terrible, terrible, but like, but turntablism was something that I was into as well.
Yeah.
I can do cuts
Oh, dope,
and
man.
and I can do some like beat juggling and stuff. But like,
Ah, very cool, man.
but it's been a long time. It's been a
Uh-huh.
long time, man.
emceeing
No,
was the
but
route, man. Yeah, I had
yeah,
some messy handwriting too, and yeah, I guess obviously you could tell which of the elements stuck with me, man. So,
yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
oh man. Well, hey man, I have to know, dude, what is the background behind your MC name, dude? It's probably one of the coolest MC names I've heard in a long time. I want to know how you got that name.
It was a name that was given to me in high school. I used to go under, my first rap name um was Nefarious. Man, it was like a play off of nefarious. Well, it was
Yeah.
basically spelled nefarious, but then they used to call me Nefari, and I was Nefarious. And then like, without going into too much detail, kind of did something to someone, and
Oh, oh,
then
yeah.
and then like, like I was kind of a troubled kid, kind of. I got into some trouble, man, when
Yeah.
I went through that rebellion age,
Sure.
um yeah, and then I kind of did something to some kid, and then like my friend Super Jeff, who was a DJ at the time, he's like, "Yo, that's your name, dude. It's gonna be
Oh,
Staplemouth."
wild, man.
So then I was like, "All right," but like that name to me, it kind of does remind me of kind of like where I came from, as
Yeah.
far as like who I was during that time.
Right.
Like that's, what I did. It wasn't like one of the greatest moments of my life, but then it showed, but I'm a completely different person than I was during
Yeah.
that time. So
It's
it
a
kind of,
building block of what made you who
yeah,
you are today. And
yeah.
was Nefari the name you were using when you were with the proletariats?
No, I was already Staplemouth. I was
Okay.
already Staplemouth from Proletariat. Navara was something that I used when, I actually was in radio. Um,
Oh,
when
I
I
didn't know.
was, yeah,
Yeah.
when I was actually like a radio disc jockey out in the islands, um for Odie's 107.9,
Oh,
and
shoot.
so then like I used to do stuff over there, did some like commercials, I did like broadcasting stuff, like,
Oh,
so,
man. How
but
long did you
then,
do that for?
um probably like 3 years until I
Yeah.
lost my job to a robot. Like during that time, everything was still played on CDs.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like I think it was like Orpheus or Morpheus or something. As software came out that were basically what we call playlists nowadays. As far as like they learned, they implemented that technology into radio, and they got rid of the CDs, and then they figured out that you can record your spots in like
Yeah.
1 to 2 hours instead of having you and just have it be part of the playlist instead of instead of um, um, being there live and just
Yeah.
having people there just to take phone calls. So there's like a big technology change in radio during that time. But my actually like a lot, all of my siblings were in radio, and that's how I got in. My older sister, she did radio. She was on FM 100. Sister Rinda,
Oh,
um, and
oh man.
and my brother, he was on Extreme Radio, was what it was called
Yeah.
that time. He was on a night show with Island Boy. So then like
So cool.
my family was always um in the music scene out there, and then I used to do like little rap promos with like Jimmy the Geek and Cutmaster Spaz and stuff
Oh, so
during
dope.
that time and stuff. And but those were the Far Eye days, and that was. But
Yeah.
what I took from that was um, the the best of it was like engineering. I'd hang out in
Sure.
like the studios where they're doing like imaging and like and spots and stuff, and it taught me like vocal work and and just learning the gear at a young age and being in front of mixing consoles and like just
Yeah.
stacks and racks of gear and stuff. So like and so then it was everything. It's the gear and just getting used to being in front of people because like
That's it,
we always
man.
have to be it.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. The technical knowledge that you get is probably second to none. And I was thinking as you were mentioning that about like them transitioning to the Morpheus system, that there's still a human aspect of like radio shows, and I
yeah,
always love listening to the DJs and their personalities and the funny skits in between. So, that's why sometimes, man, I hate it when they go to the automated play shows, man. I always miss the
yeah,
interaction with the DJs or
for
just
sure.
listening to what's going on. So that's awesome that you experienced that. I've always wanted to do radio for a little bit, at the college station. I never ended up doing it, but I just always thought that was cool, man.
Yeah, no, it's fun stuff, man. No, no, it's just interesting, like I was always put into these situations where, and like radio guy, and just whatever, and I never took it for granted, and always, and like, and just take stuff and run with it as
Yeah.
as opportunities arise, and see what I can get out of it. Not everybody has that opportunity, and
Yeah.
and I'm aware of that. So then I do my best with it. Even music and stuff. I mean, not everybody has the option to work with like a world of producers.
I
There's a lot of
know.
rappers out there that they want to be heard, but they don't even have a producer.
Yeah.
Or so they have to make their own stuff, and they, and or they have to like really push hard and demo their work
Yeah.
to even get a producer interested. So then like so it's knowing that I am super grateful of all the connections I've made in my life,
Yeah.
and knowing that I have the ability to do tracks when I want to,
Yeah.
and stuff. So like no, it's yeah, I don't take it for granted at all. I think it's really 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 cool, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, you definitely have an amazing network of folks that you work with, and I'm excited. All the Easter egg hints that you mentioned too. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
dude, I can't wait to hear those too as well. Hey, and I know that's they're all across the world. All those folks that you mentioned,
yeah.
Rogue in Canada, and Nablonsky in Germany. What about the local scene? Is there a local scene in Denver or network of folks that you connected there, or is it just primarily your connections all over the world?
There's some really cool cats out here. Like I'm slowly networking out. I mean, and they're all in different styles of all the different styles of hip hop. Like you have Dam Celine that's doing like just our style of music, and it's just like experimental, really amazing stuff. You
Okay.
have Akua, not a Hawaiian brada. You have Akua that's doing more like street, it's like street battle rap, and
Nice.
and it's heavy, it's tough. I mean, he's working with an army of really dope. They have a massive collective out here, and it's like street rappers. It's like Skull Bludgeon, Skull Bludgeon
Very
and
cool.
Gambles and stuff. And then like but then like my the community I'm building out here, like we're called Wakeful Art Collective, and then basically it's just a bunch of artists, like music, art, I mean, last night I was at like his art gallery all night, and just, building and collecting. But then there's a producer out here that I'm really interested in working with,
Okay.
named Furby Cakes.
Oh,
Furby Cakes,
nice.
dude.
Serving it,
but
serving it up, man. I'm sure he's got some heaters.
yeah, no, he's talented. He's a good one. So then it's just like and it's like really in the realm of things that I want to be doing right now. And like like I'll jump scenes, I'll jump scenes just to get out there. But as far as like the stuff that I really want to do myself, like that's where I have to like really listen to people and really sit there and build with it. It sounds mean,
Yeah.
but like build with it. So
Yeah, I know that you took quite a long break from music. I did the same too. I think when I took a break, I had no intent of coming back to music, so I had no idea I would make a return in
same,
2019. I thought I kind of hung the gloves up, but I missed it
same.
too much. And so, what about you, man? What was the reason for your break? And did you have any idea that you would be coming hard as hell afterwards, like X number of years later? What was that experience like?
Well, like I said, it was an instant family. Married a girl with four
Yeah.
kids. So then
Yeah.
it was. I wanted all my time went to raising a family.
Yeah.
So then and then as the kids got older, I thought about as the kids got a little older, I came back. I'll do like a couple features and stuff here and
Okay.
there, but I wasn't really fully back. I wasn't even really in. And then um, yeah, like, it's the same thing. 2019, the end of
Okay.
2019, there was a lot of changes in life. Like
Yeah.
the marriage didn't work. The kids grew up and all moved out of state. And it was time for me to um, to do something else,
Yeah.
and one of the things I went back to was music. I was never expecting to get back into music, to be honest.
Me too,
I thought
man.
I was just gonna, you know, stack that 401k and and like the world I was living there in that time was completely different. Like even now, like a lot of the people from that world, they're like, damn, I didn't know you did music, dude. That's some weird stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
dude. But like, no, I never thought that I'd be back in.
Right.
But now that I am in it and I have the time for it, I'm not saying I'm trying to make up for lost time, but I have enough, you know, I have enough content in me, I feel, to, release multiple projects.
That's nice,
So
man.
yeah, and and it's fun. I mean, like, plus like taking that time away from music, I was listening to a lot of the stuff that my kids were listening to, and that kind of helped change my style a little bit too, because I was like overly critical with a lot of things,
Yeah.
and they taught me, and I actually have hooks in songs now. I never liked hooks, so then
Oh, of
it's
course.
like,
Uh-huh.
you know, I was like super like I was like super douchebag elitist when it came to writing music. It's like I had all these rules, and like
Yeah.
I had to be different. It had to be like this. I had to be like that. Now it's like it's just, and then I'll stress myself out because of it. Trying to find word like huge words for no reason,
Yeah.
but then but then now it's like a lot of the music's coming out. It's more like is a lot of it's more me now, just
Nice.
having fun with it and making songs, not just like crazy art pieces. Just
Yeah.
like it's like, no, it's a song. Yeah, you use your imagination. It's a song, But like, yeah, I'm actually writing songs nowadays, which is
That's
interesting.
dope, man. Yeah,
Having
more
fun with.
refined you, man. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
And post proletariats, there was an album that you did in 2010, Rulers of Desperate Measures. Was that your first solo album post the
that was my
proletariats?
that was my first solo album. It
Yeah.
was a collection of songs that were written probably from like 2000, probably like 2001 to 2006, and then like it just kind of sat there forever. It's just like stuff that I was like doing like when navigating through being a father,
Yeah.
and understanding, learning that. So then like, but then yeah, I mean it don't, a lot of it was finished by 2006ish, and then just sat
Wow.
there for like years, just chilling, you know, and
Wow.
then like, but no, that was my first solo.
Yeah, I'm glad you put them all together. I really enjoyed Halo Retrograde. I thought, again, just your flow is always just disgustingly dope, man. Just the double, triple
Thank
time,
you.
how you navigate up and down those different tempos is wild. And that was where I was going to bring up, the track that you did called Fallen Star. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, I could see some Bone Thugs influence in here.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
was just,
no, for sure. We
yeah,
all
it
got to
was
pull from
amazing flow.
somewhere,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. I've always, try to shape my stuff up. After like Cannabis, I was really, a big fan of him, and would try to like,
Nice.
take stuff from him and MC Juice, and then try to mold it into my style. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that collection of songs. I didn't know it was something that you compiled, and yeah, I definitely liked the meshing of all the tracks. It was really dope. Ravenous was a monster track too from that album, and did you press any physical copies of that project?
No,
Okay.
it was, yeah, it was digital, just straight digital. It was me trying to like, honestly, like during that time, I already knew that like streaming and like digital stuff, like Creative Commons and all that was going to be a thing of the future,
Okay.
So then it was me like aping into what things were, how I saw things going as far as music and how
Yeah.
music is going to be distributed and
Okay.
consumed. So then it was
See.
like I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to technology stuff,
Yeah.
and like I'm always going for you know the next the next cool thing, So
Sure.
then
Yeah.
I kind of
Hey.
believe it.
Yeah. Did you? Was all the production from those songs were then different? Probably different producers then, right? Or
Correct.
okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. I mean, right now, like the way that I'm doing albums right now, like I currently do like projects with one producer,
I
and
like that.
just to kind of keep like just to kind of keep everything like pretty much consistent and theme based. A lot of my projects coming out, there a lot of it's theme based as far as like phases in my life. You
Yeah.
know, Estuary was me kind of falling apart and being manic, trying to understand what I'm going to do next in my life. It
Okay.
was dark and heavy, and it was like it was a separation from like um, the I was living a different world. Like I was like father, family of six, and then like the day when then one day it was just like it was gone. So then like and so then it was so then like doing estuary, I was in like kind of like a manic rediscovery of trying to or trying to rebuild myself.
Sure.
and see what I was going to do with life, and then, the next thing that's coming out, Thunderhead, is me exploring the world, the things that I'm
Wow.
doing now after that,
I like it.
and it's, like these projects, they're all my current life stories,
Okay.
um, what I'm going through at the time, and just, the struggles and the victories, you know, Thunderhead is more me. It sounds completely different than estuary, it's a lot more of me, like pulling myself out of what I projected in the estuary project. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna be
yeah, it was
it's interesting.
yeah, it was a good journey, man, going through your catalogs too. And yeah, I started with the first album, and then just a lot of memorable tracks, man. Dead End, the song you did with Noah 23 was also one of my favorite songs. It's a great combo. And then I really enjoyed the album that you did under I think the group name was Three Suns Eclipse. Is that Dormant Sky Time
Oh
Frames?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I enjoyed that, man. And Aloe 8, who you've mentioned many times before, is someone that you work with a lot. Is he from Colorado? Where's he from?
He's from California.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from California. He was someone that I met when I was, I don't know, 17.
Oh, crazy. That's been in
Oh
contact
yeah,
a long time, man.
he was someone that I met at while I was in high school, just on AIM. And we met on the Adicon
Oh,
chat board,
oh,
the Adicon forum, and yeah, we just became really good friends, and he's a brother to me. Actually, he
yeah.
was the one that convinced me to come back. Like
Oh man. Well, shout out to him,
yeah,
man. Heck yeah.
yeah, like I the whole time I was off of social media too. I didn't have a Facebook, I didn't have an Instagram, I didn't have any of that. So then, when I got on, I got back onto Facebook, and yeah, I didn't have an account. It was nuked. My old account was obliterated because I didn't log into it for like 15 years. Yeah, and like, it forced me to add people,
Yeah.
to get my account going. And then Aloe 8 was one of the first people to reach out, and caught
Yeah.
up with him, and it, he always knew a lot of stuff on the personal side of my life. He was always close to me like that, and he was like, dude, I think you need to get back into music, man. I
Oh,
think people would like what you do, and I think it's a good time for it. And I was like, all right,
yeah. See what
we'll see
happens.
where this goes.
Yeah.
You
Well, it
know,
sounded like you still had the recording equipment to do so, right? Like I didn't have anything when I
Mm,
came back. Did you maintain that, or did you have to rebuy all the
I had to
record?
rebuy everything. I had to
Oh,
start.
you did. Okay.
Yeah, I had to buy a new computer to even handle it. I got the
Yeah.
music stuff, and my computer that I had couldn't handle it. And I was like, oh my goodness. So then I had to go out and buy a new computer. And but and then in the last few years, since 2019, I've been upgrading gear and stuff.
Yeah.
As far as like, all right, I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna commit a few more years to this. For myself, because it's a great thing in my life, as far as like, you know, mental health, and
Yes.
creative outlet, all of that. And that's kind of all the things that, that's making me happy right now. So I'm
Right,
gonna
man.
keep doing tracks until like I'm over it. But like, it's gonna be a while. I have a few more years in
Good, man. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you surfaced back into the scene. So shout out to your boy Aloe 8, man, for making that push, man.
me.
Sometimes
Yeah,
that's all it takes. And do you
yeah.
want to talk to me a little bit about the Dormant Sky Timeframes project? I really enjoyed Sortilege of the Equinox and Bullets were my favorite tracks from that project. How was
Yeah.
that experience putting that project together?
And it was, well, Aloe, he brought me into, Cane Corso, Cane Corso Records, and when I got pulled in, another MC. Nameless Mist. He was pulled
Yeah.
in, at the same time, and I don't know, we just vibed and we just wanted to do one track. It's
Okay.
like, all right, let's do a track. So then, like, we did one track, and we really liked it. Um, and then we're like, we want to just do a whole project. I don't
Yeah,
have
let's
anything else
go.
going on,
Yeah.
And then it took us about a year to get all the tracks, everybody's schedules and stuff. But it took about a year to put all those tracks together. There was a lot of back and forth.
Okay.
It was, but what I loved about that project is how hands-on everybody was as far as like creating each song.
Good.
Like we would, it wasn't just like, here, fill in these spaces. It was like, hey, let's do this, and we're like constructing the tracks. Like would get the bass instrumental from Alawade. You know, Mist and I would, you know, do we want to hook in this? How do we want to do this? How do we hear, ourselves on this? And then we'll build together. And it was a lot like back in the days when you're like sitting in a room full of homies writing a song, like building off each other and stuff. And it was cool to be able to do that, you know, long distance and just, because he's out in Guam, so Nameless
Oh
Smith
man.
is out in Guam. So then
Yeah.
doing all of that, it was cool. I was
Very cool.
I did very much am still proud of that project. And yeah, there's gonna be more 3 cents eclipse in the
Whew.
future.
Good.
So
More
yeah,
Easter eggs, man. I love it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's super cool. After that, I went into your 2022 album Rift that you did with the Mole. And what I really liked about that was that the album had acapellas on it. It
Yeah,
was great, man. I don't know if that was done by design or if you guys just did that for special online release, but I enjoyed the acapellas, man. Just like it allowed me to appreciate your rhythmic style and just like it got, or at least it gave me the opportunity to hone in like really deep on the lyrics because I'm not listening to the beat. And so, man,
yeah,
I thought that, I mean, they were songs in itself, man. Just it was great, just the way that you guys included that. Was that done by design?
yeah. I mean, that was the idea because it was actually Rift was was basically leading up into Estuary. It
Okay.
was the Estuary tracks pretty much split apart. So that's where the rift comes from, because one side of the tape was my instrumentals with just sounds and my vocals with just sounds and just supporting sounds and having the vocals be more upfront. And then
Yeah.
the other side of the tape were all the instrumentals, um, you
Yeah.
know, re-sequenced and done differently, but it was all the instrumentals of the album. So then the idea was to have the rift and then to come together with the estuary,
Oh
um,
man.
and then that's when the vocals and the instrumentals met. The shoreline and you know the
Oh
shoreline basically where the
yeah.
water and
Hey,
land
that's
meet.
that's great. Hey, did Weird Raps did that company put that album out? Like I ended
Yeah.
up like so dope. I was like, dude, I need a copy of this, and I just purchased it online. That and I think
Nice.
I can't remember what the other project was, but I just was yeah, instant fan, man. So yeah, those were
Thanks,
great
man.
projects. Yeah. So is that
Yeah,
was that
enjoy the lyrics book, dude. There's a lyrics book in there if you want to follow along, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. I picked that package up. I think it's like the wax lyrics book, and then I think the riff tape, right, was what it came with.
oh
So
wow. Thanks,
yeah,
man.
I think so. But I picked it up like last week or something. So I can't wait to get my hands on that. Really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
cool.
I think you guys were the videos that I found online. Were they part of that project? The Thorts video? No, I think the Thorts was a feature, right?
Yeah, Thorts was a feature.
Yep.
Um, that was actually fun. Thorts, man, he was a great dude. That guy is a goofball. But
Where's he from?
he's in Australia.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That was cool.
but
What were you guys all together? Because it looked like you guys were all in the forest together, man. It seems, but I'm sure you guys were probably in
no,
different parts of the world, huh?
yeah, no, everybody's all doing their own thing, different parts of the world,
Oh,
you know, like,
okay.
but yeah, there's yeah, Thor's is a cool cat. We're actually, yeah,
Still working
we've
together.
done some tracks. Yeah, we still do stuff together. Yeah,
Woo! All right.
there's some future stuff coming up too.
Oh, more eggs, man. Hey, Myself When Young was the name of the track. I thought that was cool. Variix, is he from Australia too, or was he from?
No, I believe he's out in California. I believe
Okay.
he's out in California. I
Yeah.
might be wrong, but I believe that's where he is.
Yeah, that's the beauty of technology, man. You get to put together everybody from around the world onto one track and make it into a unique piece. So that was pretty fun. And then I enjoyed your other video, Old Lighthouse, where again,
Oh
delivery, man, just always on point. And the visuals were nuts with the cats jumping off the cliffs. I was like, damn. I was like, oh shit, this is wild, man.
yeah. There were lemmings, bro. There were lemmings. But like,
I was just like,
that doesn't make it any better. But there were lemmings, dude. There were kittens. But like, that's funny. But then like, yeah, no, like, the video producer, Una Van Deeks, she did an amazing job with that. Um,
like, where do
yeah,
you even
no,
find
she.
like clips, man? Where do you even find video footage like that? I was like, this is wild. So yeah, those two videos, man, were great.
I know, dude. That's why she's so cool because she's aware of all of this stuff. Actually, I think the moles. I think the lemming scene came from because we're building that video together, and the mole was part of it. And I think he actually found it. Of course, that guy. He's such a cool dude. He's like, oh, I think we need to use this somewhere. And I was like, all right, lemmings, let's do it. But no, it's fun. They're like, like, and, I mean, as far as like music and art style, yeah, my stuff is really dark, and it's kind of like it is kind of like the complete opposite of who I am in the world. Like people approach me when they recognize me, and they approach me like I'm gonna eat their fucking kid or something. It's like no, dude, you don't have to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, huh? You want to eat lunch? You want chill? I'm not gonna eat your fucking kid, man. But then like, but I get it because I do some like dark, weird stuff, dude. And
Yo, I
but
love it, man. The storytelling, the originality, and I mean, like you said, man, it's just a canvas for you to paint some stories and just be creative, right? And I
yes,
feel like you are like super creative when it comes to topic choice and just again delivery too. I'm always a big fan, and that too, man. Like, and then you had that recent release on Eli's new Halo Boy album. I think
yeah,
the track was produced by Aloe 8 too, right? Who is,
yes,
as you
sir.
mentioned, a long time partner in crime, man, when it comes to rhyming. And that album was released in September, and you were there on the Wound track that also had Lily Fangs, man, right? Another Hawaiian.
She's
Wound.
Colorado
She's
girl.
from here. She's not from the island.
No, I mean she looked like
Yeah,
I don't
I
know. I don't
thought.
know.
So I'm wrong.
No, but I mean, but she's like she spends a lot of time out there, But I don't know,
Oh
like
man.
her. I've never really, asked her history. I mean, we've met each other, But like she's a Colorado girl,
Dude.
But she's
I guess it's
super
just the
awesome,
vibe she
make it talented.
brings.
Yeah.
Phew, man, that song was ridiculous, man. And then you guys went like verse, and then switch back between all you three. And man, that song was freaking dope. I really enjoyed it, man.
Nice. Thanks, man. Yeah. No, I was really stoked to be a part of that project. I mean, it's probably, one of the highlights in my music career
Yeah,
thing. Yeah. I was like, all right, I'm down. This is cool. But like, yeah,
yeah,
no, Aloe, yeah, he's a great guy, man. And like,
yeah.
that was super cool.
Yeah, I saw Eli doing the breakdown of the album and how he was talking about every track. So it was dope, man. He gave you an awesome shout out.
Yeah.
Just you being you and being amazing. And did you know Lily Fangs before that song, or was that the first time you guys met for that song?
I was familiar with her work.
Okay,
Alloate was Alloate was working with her on several other things as well.
gotcha.
So then she was always someone that I had on the radar
Yeah,
and was a huge fan of after discovering her music.
yeah.
Um, and I didn't even know she was out in Colorado until I moved here. You know, I'm like,
Bananas,
oh
man.
wait, she's Colorado.
I had no clue she
But
was from there. That's so crazy.
yeah,
Well, dope, man. Yeah, everybody, you got to check that song out, "Wound," man. That's a bananas track. And when you guys recorded it, like, what was the time, in between of when it actually got released? Was it done like a year ago, or was it done like 2 months before release? What was that time frame?
that mm, it's sat for a long time, man. It was
Yeah.
something that
Okay.
I had to keep under wraps
Yeah, I know. I like
for
that
a
was too hard to
long time.
probably
It
hard to
was,
hold, man. I'd be super
yeah,
excited, man.
yeah. I mean, I even want to say it was 2 years. You know, it
Oh
was
man.
a long time.
Oh man, the wait was worth it, and I
Yeah.
was like, I dove into the song, and I knew it was gonna be dope, and it was 20 times doper than I thought it was gonna be. Just you guys freaking wrecked it, dude. Yeah, just it's always tough, like doing those songs where you go back and forth, right? And
Yeah.
so, like, dude, like, do you like what was the process for that song? Did you lay down your initial verses, and then did you have to send it back and forth so that it sounded more fluid, or did everybody just record and you guys filled in the blanks?
Yeah. That was one of those fill in the blanks. It was
Wow,
one of those fill in the
freaking
blanks
sounded
tracks.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. It was I was the last one to record on it. And they left me a bunch of spaces and
Yep.
I just filled in those spaces, man.
Freaking
You know?
attacked with freaking no regard. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool track, man. But hey, in the end, as I went through it, and man, again, amazing journey as I went through your entire catalog. How personally do you feel that you've evolved as an MC since your first release until now? I think maybe topics are more calculated, but just in your own words, man, like, what was that change like, and how do you feel? How do you see yourself now these days?
Um, I think right now I actually have a story to tell, a story
Yeah.
to share. Like a lot of the stuff back in the day, it was either really heady, or it was just like surrealist poetry, but now it's a lot more personal.
Mm,
A lot of the things that I'm doing right now, it's me sharing my story and hopefully being able to reach out to others out there,
yeah.
that can resonate and relate to it. Like I guess right now I'm just the music that I'm doing now. It's a lot more personal. Where back then I was like more elusive hidden guy. I'm not gonna tell you anything about me type of thing.
Enigmatic, yeah.
Uh, but now it's like I don't mind sharing, you know, who I am, and yeah. So I think that's the difference. Is that like um, there's a 4 series thing going on that started off with estuary
Uh,
and rift. I'm gonna consider that like
okay.
the same project, but then like there's a there's a 4-part story of my life
Woo!
that's being worked on. So
All right.
different producers, different styles, and yeah, it's um, it's gonna be fun. It's a fun journey, but it's
Yeah.
something that I'm doing for myself, because like you know, I mean, I look back at that stuff from like depression and stuff too. You know what I mean? So then like it's a good it's and I like to bring awareness to like mental health.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Big
I'm
time.
huge on that. So
Yes.
then like it's that's where this is my contribution to that. It's like you're not alone. You know, That-
Yeah.
there's good days out there. You just make it
Amen,
happen.
brother. Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for spreading awareness on that. And too, and I'll have to echo your points too. Like music is definitely therapeutic for me, and self-medication, man, for me.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
so a lot of stress in everyday life, and it's a great escape for me. So I feel you and say you are not alone, man, when it comes to that kind of
Yeah,
feelings, man. So really dope. I appreciate you spreading awareness, man. And you're
yeah.
just an amazing brother, man. Just from the day that I met you, you've been open, and you definitely channeled that aloha spirit, and I feel it, man. And so I'm excited. Also, I know that we're on a track together for the Mestizo project too, as well. Yep. That's probably another one that probably gotta keep it on the wraps, I guess. But that was
Yeah.
that was exciting too for me. Um, but yeah, man, like, but outside of music and work and family, man, is there anything else that you like to do for fun? What are your hobbies?
I like to do this. I like to go on hikes. You
Yeah,
know, that's why Colorado is like magnificent to me. There's like billions of trails, but then like I do a lot of. I'm not like the greatest hiker. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't like not really deep in like the backpack. Like backpacking scene like that. But then like I just like to I just like to be out there like
that's right.
and go to play chill in nature. Like when growing up in the islands, I always spent my time up in the mountains and being able to do that and revisit that lifestyle out here.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. But a lot of my time, I mean, honestly, when it comes to work, Sunday is my only day off.
yeah.
So
Hey,
it's
thank you.
like,
Thank you
so
for
then
giving
like,
us some of that valuable time, man.
yeah, dude. No, of course. But that's what this day is for. It's for music. It's for building. It's for community.
Yeah,
It's my me time, and
that's
this
right.
is a huge part of my me time right here.
Yeah.
So
Were you hiking a lot in Kaneohe too? Also being on the island, or was that not a thing yet?
oh yeah, oh
Got to,
yeah,
island boy, man. Island boy to
yeah,
the heart.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like I always resonated with the mountains more than the ocean. I love the ocean. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But then I spent most of my time in the mountains
Yeah.
when I was at home.
I love it, man. It's funny, man. I think the other day we got some good friends out in Colorado Springs. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's probably about an hour away from you, maybe,
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to plan a trip out there in like sometime in 2024, man. So we got to connect,
Sweet.
man. If I make it out
Oh
there,
yeah,
man.
no, you're not far away. I just passed through there like a couple of weeks ago. So,
Oh, did you?
but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So that might be in my future for 2024, man. I'll definitely keep in touch. But it's been
yeah,
great, man. Yeah,
yeah,
man. So outside of that, man, like you mentioned a couple Easter eggs for people to go back and listen to. But are there any special projects that you really wanted to highlight? Just one that, hey, man, look out for this one. It's coming at the end of the year or early 24. Are there any projects that you wanted to just surface up real quick?
yeah. Thunderhead. Thunderhead is my
Yes.
next release.
All
It
right.
is completely produced by Result. My brother Result from Brain Forest. We were formerly known as Tree Dusk Mirror. It's like it was more of our darker stuff. But completely produced by Result. All the cuts by DJ Somnium, and it features vocals with from Result
Whew.
and another island brought a wormhole. So then
Oh,
like
all right.
yeah, so then we're it's gonna be released on El Grand E Records. I think it's coming out. I think as of right now, I think we're looking at February ish,
Coming soon.
early next year. I just got word that we're ready to go. So
Whew, it's
going to be
hot.
coming out on vinyl, El Grande Records, man. Thunderhead. I'm
I
going to
love it,
be
man.
promoting that here pretty heavily soon. It's going to be
That's a
fun, dude.
solo project.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh,
So
Thunderhead. I love the
me,
name. That sounds hard as hell.
yeah, dude.
That sounds
No,
hard.
but see, that's the thing. Like with my nature, with me being into nature, you're gonna find out like these projects, they're like estuaries where the fresh water and it's brackish water basically. It's where fresh water and salt water connect meet.
Oh, wow.
So then that's and Thunderhead, so then like a lot of these two tracks, it's based around my, you know, my hiking, just being out in nature. Like I'm a real nature guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, good deal. Hey, it sounds like 2024 has got a lot of good stuff coming, and I can't wait. And before we close this amazing session, man, you want to tell folks where the best place is to find your music?
yeah, like as far as like estuary, you can go out to the Weird Rap Band Camp, where I'm extraordinary, rap band, extraordinary music. But like estuary, you can go to Pen Thief for like Three Suns Eclipse. Um, you can even go to Tree Dusk Mirror for our Tree Dusk Mirror stuff. We had an album that came out probably 2 years ago
Oh, man.
for Tree Dusk Mirror Camp. But then,
Sweet.
we're rebranding to Brain Forest because there's only like a few of us left over from the group that still do music, And you could also and El Grande Records, that's where you can find my mycelium culture stuff. And that's where Thunderhead's gonna be. So El Grande Records, Bandcamp, great group of people. And then you're gonna be hearing some stuff coming from, my homies, Saskatoon rap music. There's gonna be stuff coming out there too. So like that's the base camp right now, and
Definitely.
it's there's gonna be a lot of stuff. You guys are gonna get sick of me, dude. There's gonna be
I
a lot
love
of
it,
stuff
man.
coming out.
Bring it on, man. Keep
But
bringing it,
I'm
man.
having fun. I'm having fun.
I love it, man. Well, hey, man, like I mentioned, dude, thank you so much. You're an amazing guy, man, and I love dive into your catalog, and like I said, man, the break and the return, man, is well warranted, and I can't wait for all the new stuff, man. So keep flooding us because the music is amazing. I can't wait, man. I
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
your time. Thank you, good brother. I can't wait to get
Thank
this
you.
sorted out.
Oh yeah, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you for considering having me on. I appreciate that, and thanks for the support and all the cool kind words and stuff. I super appreciate it. It's what keeps me going.
That's right, man.
So appreciate it, man. Like
Yes,
you
sir.
guys make the music. The listeners makes the listeners are Staplemouth. Yeah. So thank
That's
you.
it, man. Well, good, man. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Aloha, my brother.
Yeah.